Marvel Studios has shrouded its plans for the Disney Plus streaming service in its usual veil of secrecy, but we've already gotten a pretty good peek at some of the shows in development. Here's everything we know about their plans so far. In November 2018, Disney confirmed a number of the original series in development, including a Loki series starring Tom Hiddleston. There were still no details about when the series would be set, or how it was possible considering Loki's death in Avengers Infinity War. We had so many questions, and then came Avengers Endgame with an answer. When the Avengers go back in time to the events of 2012's Avengers, they inadvertently give Loki the opportunity to steal back the Tesseract and escape from their custody. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo confirmed a few weeks after Endgame's release that the Loki of the past created an alternate timeline when he escaped. It hasn't been confirmed that this will be the version of Loki viewers follow in his upcoming limited series, but it certainly seems like the most likely possibility. While rumors floated around for a while, it took until April 2019 for the Scarlet Witch series to be confirmed. And once it was, we learned it wouldn't be just Scarlet Witch. During a Disney investors meeting, Kevin Feige revealed the show would be called WandaVision, and would feature the return of not only Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, but Paul Bettany as the android Vision as well. What we know about WandaVision is both intriguing and a little confusing. Vision died in Avengers Infinity War, and unlike Scarlet Witch, wasn't revived in Endgame. Olsen's talk with Variety later in April revealed more puzzling details about the show, specifically that at least part of it will apparently have a retro aesthetic. She dished that the show's story would be pulled from, quote, quite a few other comic books, and pointed out that, quote, at the Disney Plus launch chat they showed a photo of Scarlet Witch and Vision in the 50s. In May 2019, a rumor circulated suggesting Scarlet Witch's powers will become more comic book accurate in WandaVision, meaning she'll gain access to reality-altering abilities. While there's been no confirmation, this would go a long way to explain how Vision is apparently coming back to life.
I'm really sorry. What?
You couldn't have done that earlier? I hate you.
In October 2018, Variety reported Anthony Mackie's Falcon and Sebastian Stan's Bucky, aka the Winter Soldier, would be partnering up for their own limited series on Disney+. The story claimed it would be the first of the Disney Plus MCU original series to find a writer, naming Empire producer and writer Martin Spellman. The series, titled Falcon and Winter Soldier, was confirmed in April 2019, along with WandaVision, when Kevin Feige addressed the Disney investors. Since then, we've learned more details about the show than any of the other confirmed Disney Plus MCU series. The following month, Deadline reported Falcon and Winter Soldier would be 6 episodes long, and that director Carrie Skoglund, known for her work on The Handmaid's Tale, Nosferatu, and The Walking Dead among others, had been recruited to direct the entire show. At the Justin Bello comic book convention in Italy, Stan hinted the series would give Bucky the chance, quote, to go out there and have an identity outside of the circumstances that we've met him through. Along with naming Skoglund as director, Deadline released other details. The site reported Emily Van Camp, who played Sharon Carter in Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Civil War, is in talks to appear in the series, as well as Daniel Bruhl, who played Civil War's villain Zemo. According to Deadline, the series is scheduled to be released on Disney Plus in August 2020. A little over 2 weeks before the April 2019 release of Avengers Endgame, Variety reported a Hawkeye series starring Jeremy Renner was in the works for Disney+. Few details have been released about the Hawkeye series, but The Hollywood Reporter says the show will follow Clint Barton as he passes the torch to another Archer hero. The upcoming series will revolve around Barton training the younger Kate Bishop to take over the mantle of Hawkeye. In the comics, Bishop initially takes the name after Barton dies in the 2004 event Avengers Disassembled. Once Barton returns to the land of the living, as most people who die in Marvel Comics eventually do, both heroes keep the Hawkeye name. This has all been covered extensively in the comics, but as of now, there's no word on how Kate Bishop enters Clint Barton's life, or who will be playing her in the series. In mid-April 2019, a rumor circulated that Marvel was developing a Hulk She-Hulk series with Mark Ruffalo reprising his role as Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
I put the brains and the brawn together, and now look at me. Best of both worlds.
According to the story, She-Hulk would ultimately be the focus of the series. In the comics, She-Hulk is Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Walters. Banner inadvertently creates She-Hulk after his cousin is shot. With no other viable donors available, he's forced to perform a blood transfusion and give his own Hulk-infected blood to his cousin. Since the initial rumor broke, not many details have surfaced about the series. However, since the release of Avengers Endgame, we now know the Hulk, whose right arm is rendered permanently damaged after using the Infinity Stones, probably won't be doing a lot more superhero stuff. So if the rumors about the series are true, it could be that Hulk will find himself much in the same position as Hawkeye in his series, teaching a new hero to fill his shoes. In February 2019, while promoting Captain Marvel, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige told Collider that upcoming Disney Plus MCU series would be important to the, quote, entire post-Endgame MCU. Feige also said the series were all conceived together and that they would be intertwined with each other, as well as the studio's movies. Now that Avengers Endgame has been released, along with Spider-Man Far From Home's final trailer, we know some of the things that are different in the MCU since Endgame.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world? Beck is from Earth, just not ours.
In particular, we now know that the Earth of the MCU is connected to a vast multiverse of alternate timelines, which are now apparently much more connected than they used to be ever since Thanos' big snap. Parallel worlds bring up potentially limitless possibilities. It's probably why a once-dead Loki will be able to lead his own series, and it could also be why the supposedly dead Vision and the freshly revived Scarlet Witch will be back together again in WandaVision. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about the Marvel Cinematic Universe are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.